Imagine hearing an odd sound that can't be explained, or seeing a shadowy figure move, but no one is there. A light flickers. You feel a cold breath on your neck.
Is it your imagination, or is it real? (1790s) Frederick, Maryland. Agnes is buried alive in the walls of a colonial mansion.
In 1958, the building is converted into a school, yet Agnes remains entombed. Tonight, 17-year-old Aaron attempts to reach through the wall that separates the living and the dead, the wall that separates Aaron
and Agnes. 1993, Grand Island, New York.
4-year-old CJ met a ghost at a Grand Island hotel. To see her again, he'll spend the night in the haunted hotel and wait for the ghost who lives in room 347.
1859, Bodie, California. Waterman S. Bodie strikes gold, but dies before he can cash in.
Many believe that whoever tries to steal from Bodie will be cursed for life. Now, 2 teenagers take a risk by taking a piece of Bodie.
These are the real stories of actual encounters with the bizarre and the unknown. These are real, scary stories. This year, all of the 17-year-olds at St. John's School will graduate, except for one. Agnes is being held back inside the wall.
My name is Erin Lee. I'm 17, and my school is haunted. She's always there. Sometimes you can feel her.
Agnes is our resident ghost.
She's a very intimate part of this building.
She was a servant in the house when she was murdered.
She was buried alive in this wall.
I am convinced that something is here.
I'm a senior at St. John's at Prospect Hall, a private Catholic school in Frederick, Maryland.
It's an old building, you know. It's a creepy old building.
The story is told that Agnes, who was an indentured Irish servant girl,
she worked for the Delaney family. She fell in love with their youngest son. Obviously, the father thought this was not suitable. He sent his son to England for schooling.
This is when Agnes was immured alive.
I know she's up here and active at times because she turns lights on and off and opens doors and shuts them.
She turned all the computers in my computer room off one day. There's no way just the computers in a room can go off without the lights and the Coke machine out in the hallway. And I was in a room with 15 computers, and they went off, but nothing else went off.
I want to spend a night in the mansion because I've heard stories from faculty members and headmasters who have spent the night here, and they refuse to go and spend another night there, and they won't say why. All my friends knew I was going to be spending the night here in the mansion. Don't die, Aaron! And they were all asking me if I would give them my stuff when I didn't come back. And that made me a little nervous, but I tried to ignore it.
Aaron enlists the help of psychic Kaylin Keith. Ms. Keith has no prior knowledge of Agnes or the story of her death.
But I'm really interested in this. It's very sad energy, something that's not been resolved. Lives are not meant to end the way this one ended. I think she's trying to resolve in her own mind something horrendous that happened to her in life. And I would bet buried in the wall, she tried to make her presence known, to no avail.
Tonight, Agnes makes her presence known. Agnes has spent every night for the past 200 years trapped inside the mansion walls. Tonight is Aaron's first night in the mansion, and her last.
The upstairs attic area used to be servants' quarters, and so we assume that's where her bedroom was. That's where she thinks she lives.
Honestly, I'd like to think of myself as a courageous person, but right now I'm starting to doubt that. After the psychic came, I went around and I did some scouting at the house myself. Agnes? Agnes, are you here? I think I could feel Agnes at certain points. It got colder and I felt something. I was asleep and the school bell went off and I don't know why. So I went downstairs to check it all out and everything seemed okay. But when I went to the box where the bell switches are, I tried ringing them and they didn't work. Seems to be unplugged. So you can't ring them when they're unplugged, so I plugged them back in. And it was unplugged when we came down here. And it's still not. Okay. And I came back upstairs to make sure everything upstairs was okay. And I saw a very strange light. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was something. It was a white light with a tail. I am very scared, but it's just really weird.
Agnes calls out to Aaron again.
I'm really scared right now. I know it's not bad and she's not trying to hurt me or anything. It's just really scary. The plug for the bells was unplugged again, and I know I plugged it in. It was a very interesting night. I've always believed in ghosts. I believed in them, but when it was happening, I couldn't believe it was happening. I hope that the future students of this school will pass on the story of Agnes and what happened to her. She wasn't just a servant, and she wasn't expendable. We acknowledge her, and we know that she's there.
Some people who visit Bodie leave with pleasant memories of their trip.
We thought it'd be fun to go to Bodie.
Others leave with a piece of Bodie and regret it for the rest of their lives.
We thought it would be fun, but we were wrong.
Seven years ago, CJ stayed at a Grand Island hotel. While he was there, he made friends with a girl named Tanya.
CJ was only 4 years old then, and Tanya was dead.
I'm CJ. I'm 11 years old. And when I was 4, I saw a real ghost. We were at this hotel. I woke up at 3 in the morning. I heard like this voice saying, "Do you want to play?" And I looked up and I saw my toys floating around the room.
He woke up like screaming and crying, "Mom, she's playing with my toys."
If you were 4 and you see a ghost, you have to be scared. If you're not, you're like Superman or something. I looked up again to see if she was still there, and my toys just dropped to the floor, and then I saw her face for just like 5 seconds, and then it disappeared.
At this point, I wasn't thinking a ghost. I was thinking my son had a nightmare, something upset him terribly.
In the morning, I saw my toys on the floor, and I showed my mom that I wasn't dreaming.
What made me call the hotel was, you know, my son never acted like that before. And they were like, well, what your son saw was a ghost. Her name was Tanya. And I'm on the other end of the line going, I can't believe I'm having this conversation.
I live in one of the rooms. Every night, I would hear small footsteps over my head, like running down the hallway or running down the hallway on my floor. And finally, I called down to the desk one night late, like midnight or so, and asked the desk clerk, who do you have above me? And the desk clerk told me, Mr. Demme, there's nobody in your wing of the hotel. You might want to over there.
We had an occasion of my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. We rented the main dining room. You could clearly see Tanya in the picture. You can see her eyes, you can see her mouth, you can see her nose. You can see her, I believe it's a hat or a bonnet. I believe she is holding a doll. I didn't see the ghost in the picture when I took it. And obviously at dinner we would all have been out of there in a hurry.
I do want to go back to that hotel. I'm very interested to see if she is still there and if she might ask me the same thing that she did 7 years ago.
Grand Island we're on, and it's got quite a bit of history here. The hotel is right over there. It's only about a couple of 100 yards. There was a house over there. There have been a number of buildings. A sawmill, that burned back in the 1800s. A restaurant that burned about 1960. We can't find any real little girl who actually died in a fire there. Doesn't mean there couldn't have been someone, though.
How you doing? 347. You're on your own, guys. Here's the key. Good night.
CJ! Something just moved. There's nothing back there, CJ. Are you ready to sleep? Footsteps outside the... She's probably not even going to show up.
There's no other explanation for these footsteps.
Died in the fire there.
In the picture we can very clearly see Tanya.
What your son saw was a ghost.
She might have come when we were sleeping.
I'm pretty sure that she was here, but she wasn't, like, showing herself.
She's still out there somewhere in this hotel.
She could be, like, right behind us.
I've heard the footsteps. I've heard many, many stories, and I really have no doubts that Tanya does exist.
You've got to believe, seeing this, that there is something else that we don't totally understand.
I'm going to tell you a story that sounds totally unbelievable, but it's true, and it happened to us.
We heard about this deserted old town in California called Bodie.
It was a gold mining town back in the 1800s.
Now it's a ghost town, and it's totally deserted.
One day the people just left. They left their buildings, they left their stuff, and just took off.
1962, Bodie became a state historic park, and it stays just as you see it today. The official word is state of arrested decay. Bodie is protected by law, but it's also protected by something else.
And that's when we found out about the curse.
If you take something from Bodie and you take it home with you, you have bad luck.
We thought it'd be fun to go to Bodie to find out more about the town and about the curse.
We thought it would be fun, but we were wrong.
Hello, welcome to Bodie.
Hi. Hi.
Bodie is known for gold. It was one of the richest strikes in the West. Well, there was a man by the name of Waterman S. Bodie that came up through this area about 1850. He discovered some gold down in the Mono Lake area. Unfortunately for Mr. Bodie, on his way out to gather up supplies, he was caught in a major blizzard and died.
Was this right after he, founded this hole?
Well, Bodie never even realized that the town was here.
We thought that it was weird that the guy who founded Bodie and discovered gold there died before he could even cash in.
Maybe he was cursed.
The word got out that Bodie's discovery, so people started showing up, and lo and behold, they started finding gold.
One day, there was nothing there. All of a sudden, a couple of months later, you got thousands of people. They want that gold. They want money. They want riches. They're going to do anything for it. And that's where the curse comes in.
The crowd that it drew, people that were out of jobs, they were rough and tumble. So there's a lot of bad man history here.
Was born in Bodie, yeah. My granddad, he came here and took up mining. A lot of shootings going on around the saloons and stuff, you know. It was a tough place.
Do you think maybe part of the curse could be maybe all the people who died here could be protecting this town, because
Could very
they
well
lived here?
be. Could very well be. It is one of the largest, most well-preserved ghost towns that exists anywhere. We receive letters. My luck has turned so bad since I took this item from Bodie that I want to return it to get whatever this curse is off my back.
Well, it was right around 1972 when I came here with my mom, my dad, and my sister. And we found a bed with dollar bills and change, and I found a stick. And her and I decided to maneuver some change and money off the bed and into our hands, which later became ice cream money. Shortly afterwards, I started feeling the effects of the Bodie curse. Money problems, losing jobs, not being able to buy a home. We own nothing.
What do you think about us maybe taking something?
If you do take something and something does follow you, you will know it.
So you feel that there is a chance?
Oh, I feel there's a real good chance that something's going to follow you home.
We thought the Rangers were trying to scare us.
But we still wanted to test a curse. So we each picked something.
I was having second thoughts, but Jessica was really wanting to do it.
Just testing the curse anyways, it doesn't matter. We're going to send it back.
They said, I don't believe it. I challenge it. I want to see what's going to happen if I take this item. They challenge it. You challenge evil, and evil will make its presence known to you. These items take on a life of their own. The vibrations are instilled within the molecular structure. But where you bring these items, spirits are drawn to that area.
Let's go home and test the curse.
Tracy and Jessica take home a piece of Bodie, and the consequences are earth-shattering.
I was awoken by my room shaking.
When Jessica and Tracy got home, they waited to see if they would be plagued by Bodie's curse.
They didn't have to wait long.
We took the necklaces home from Bodie to see what, if anything, would happen.
We used our video camera to document each day.
At first, little things started going wrong.
My dad did my laundry, and it was the laundry that was supposed to be dry clean, and now everything is shrunk.
I did spill some orange juice on the carpet, and that would have been so bad, but my parents just had the carpet steam clean.
But they were little things, so we couldn't really tell if the curse was real or not.
I've been wanting to go to homecoming with this guy in particular, and I finally was talking to him about it, and unfortunately, he was already planning on taking his ex-girlfriend from last year. I still thought these were coincidences. This is what we got now. We got a flat tire. Then some bad things started happening, and then I thought we were really cursed.
Normally, I'm a pretty good student.
I read the book twice, and I had a test on it, and I failed it. And in addition to failing that test, I had a history test that I also didn't know about. It was like a pop quiz, but I also failed it.
It is beginning to give me some kind of rash. It's really itchy, and I totally messed up my right ankle. It hurts so bad, you have absolutely no idea. And then the big thing happened. I was awoken by my room shaking. We had an earthquake.
There hadn't been any earthquakes here since 4 or 5 years ago, and all of a sudden there's this earthquake, and it's right after I take this rock from Bodie.
And then when the earthquake hit, everybody, including my parents, said enough is enough. send the thing back.
They send these items back, that's fine. Okay. What they're in essence saying is that they do believe in it and they're sending it back. But whether the curse can be taken off or not, I can't say for sure. They challenged evil. Once you challenge something, it's up to that something to drop the challenge.
These are the stories of real people from across the country who have had experiences with the unknown. If you have a story to tell, write to us at Island Entertainment, P.O. Box 2036, Old Chelsea Station, New York, New York, 10113. Tell us your real scary story.
Fox Kids, Fox Kids, Fox Kids, Fox Kids, Fox Kids.